we have to clean up our hair supplies just like we have to clean up our makeup supplies. It's an important thing to maintain our items. And so I always make sure that I remove all of the hair from my brushes, from my combs, everything. And especially because we use so much gel hairspray, if we use any of those spray-in type of colors, or we have glitter and shimmer stuff, if there's any other hair products that we have to put in our hair, it gets built up in your combs and your brushes. And so you need to make sure that that gets all cleaned out. When we do that, we want to make sure that we can use shampoo. That's a great way. I will, again, submerge each of these in really, really hot water, and I will fill that with some shampoo. If I know that it's like really cakey, I will also add in some dish soap, and that will help degrease it also. And I also will use, I actually have a brush that I will use specifically for cleaning out my hair supplies. So in the past, I've had a dedicated like nail scrub brush to be able to get into all of the little teeth, and I've even had like a dedicated toothbrush that I've used to clean out some of the little tufts that get into the grooves of my brushes. It Over the years, I've tried different methods, and they each kind of work respectively. You just have to find what works best with the utensils that you have. But I do that so that way I can get into the little grooves so that there's no weird funky buildup that's happening in there. And again, with that, you can also disinfect it and use like your rubbing alcohol mix that I go over in the makeup video, and clean it out that way as well. So that way if there's any makeup that may have gotten in there, that does help loosen that stuff out. I'll even do a spray disinfectant on the brushes just to make sure that they stay safe. But again, anytime I do that, I have to make sure that I wash it out afterwards, because you don't want to have spray disinfectant or any kind of disinfectant that's in use in your hair. That's not cool. So anytime that happens, you always have to make sure you wash it out afterwards. That's basically the gist of cleaning up the brushes as well. They're pretty easy, quite honestly. Certain brushes you may have to use the conditioner on just to loosen up some of the bristles and stuff. That's more if you have like the really fine bristle brushes for like flattening down the hair. Again, you have to be careful with those kind of brushes too, just like your makeup brushes. You don't want to be frying them, and you don't want to have them get screwed up. You don't want to have them get crunched, and you want them to maintain their shape. You don't want them getting destroyed. So you do have to kind of see what you're using. One of the reasons too, I also like to use just a really generic brush that has the open back is because then I don't have to worry about some of the brushes that have the teeth on like a pad. So I don't have to worry about water getting inside and nastiness in there. So those brushes also, you have a different way of cleaning them. Some of them you're actually able to pop that out so you can clean out the entire innards. Others are glued in, and that does pose for a little bit more of a challenge. So especially when I am doing so much with various products, I prefer to have a brush that I can just easily clean up instead of one that's like super fancy that I have to do even more work just to clean up my brush. So my hair is usually pretty simplistic though in those regards. I can usually get it to do a decent amount with some very simplistic products. Again, I hope this helps, and I hope you're able to tidy up some of your hair supplies, and hopefully you've learned a few things along the way this week about how to fix certain conundrums we have with our hair and how to style it differently, and hopefully it just becomes helpful in your future dance endeavors. I will see you tomorrow.